Hey guys, it's Ashley and this is gonna be my Pretty Little Liars recap for season 4, episode 17, Bite Your Tongue. If I show you, then I know you won't tell what I said. 'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Oh my gosh, guys. Whew. I just finished watching that episode, and let me tell you, that episode was so amazing. Like, I just can't. Like, I cannot. I just can't with that. Like, hooray for Spencer for finally being right. Because these past, like, what, 4 seasons, she's said that so and so is A, Ian, or Garrett is A, or Jenna, or I don't know, did she think Jenna was A? I mean, they were, like, all wrong. I mean, they were kind of on the everyone, I'm pretty sure they were on everyone's A list, but I mean, now it's like, claps for you, Spencer. Your detective skills finally are becoming handy. Sorry, my phone is going off. This is my new phone case, by the way. Oh, there's me. But yeah, this is not a phone case, it's a kitty cat hanging on the back. But anyway, I was live tweeting with the show, so if you want to follow me, my Twitter is Ash Harmony. I'll have it in the down bar. And so I'm gonna get started. We find out that Mike and Mona is dating, and that couple makes me want to gag. One, Mona is way older than Mike. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like girls being older than the guy, but I mean, this is like Mona we're talking about. Okay, Mona, the crazy psychopath, dating 10th grader Mike, Arya's brother, and they're seen like kissing throughout the episode, being like friendly towards another, and Arya warns Mike to be careful with her because she's a dangerous person, and he tells her that they met at some kind of like discussion group. So Arya goes to the discussion group to talk to the guy who runs the program. She tells him that Mona is a devil. She just explodes. Like, at first she's trying to like act really nice, not trying to be rude. The teacher asks her if she wants to schedule an appointment or to come join their group, but she says no, I'll pass. And he keeps asking her because he can sense that she has some unfinished business, like with Mona, and that she's still angry at Mona, so he wants to like talk to her and all that, but she doesn't want to. I don't think it's a good idea anyway, because I feel like if she would have gone to the discussion group or she scheduled an appointment with the guy, I feel like that A is somehow gonna use that information, whatever she says, and or Ezra, if you want to call it now. Also, Mona is meeting with Ezra. That's not really a shocker, but I mean, we see her walking into his classroom and he's like, okay, close the door, because he wanted to see Mona. And my theory is, I think Mona is dating Mike to get information about Arya and her family or whatever, and then she's telling it all to Ezra, and she's probably working with him. That's my theory. I don't feel like they're in love or anything. I feel like Mona is like just dating Mike to get information about Arya and him or whatever. Emily, in the beginning of the episode, well, actually almost the whole episode, she's mad at Spencer for ruining that Emerson moment from last episode. She was like really mad. Like, she didn't want to like talk to Spencer, nothing. She didn't want nothing to do with Spencer. So she was with Arya a lot in this episode. And Emily, she's being really, really scared and jumpy this whole episode ever since A got in control of her car. So yeah, she's like really scared. She doesn't want to use her car, even though if they couldn't find anything wrong with it or whatnot. And so she takes her bike to school and get to places. Her dad can sense that she's been really jumpy, and she just says, oh, it's just, I'm stressing out about senior year. And so this was a bad mistake. Emily's dad, he goes to school and he talks to Ezra about how Emily's been really jumpy nowadays, and how he thinks she's jumpy because she slept in Allison's room. And he heard from Pam that Mrs. De Laurentiis still acts and talks as if Allison is still alive. He tells that to Ezra. That was like a bad move. I mean, Ezra already knows that Allie's
alive already, but I mean still. Then we figure out that Emily has to spend time with Ezra now after school to help him with like some kind of play, I think it was. That's kind of creepy. Now in this episode, Hannah, she's reading. When does Hannah read? Okay, this one I found it really funny and kind of cool at the same time. Like she's all into like these crime mystery books, and I found that really weird because like, when did she start reading for fun? You know, so she's trying to be like really detective now with Spencer, like trying to find out who's A and all of that. Then she's over Travis, I guess, because she says that she's over him. She has a dentist appointment. Then she says that she's gonna go into the file room and try to find files, because that would be the way to find out about A and all about the someone else being in Allison's casket and all of that. And so while she's in the dentist room, I found it really like strange. Like totally forgot about Sean. Don't know who that is. That was her boyfriend in the first season. But I totally forgot about him and the nurse or whatever she mentions about Sean, and I remember how his dad is the dentist, I think, or something. So the nurse leaves and she sneaks out to the file room to gather some like file papers with all these names on, like who checked in, and because she thinks that A went there. So she gathers some papers, and then the nurse comes in the room and she realizes Hannah is gone. So she calls the dentist like, oh, since Hannah was on the last of the list and couldn't wait, I'm just gonna check out and I'll call her tomorrow. So she thinks Hannah left. So then she closes it. She walks out, and then Hannah hears like all these like someone is like outside of the room, so she just rips it out of the binder and she puts it all in her bag. She comes back in the dentist room thinking that the dentist is gonna come. She sits down with her bag on her lap, and someone comes in the room, and I think it was Mona because it looked like a girl. Maybe it was Ezra, maybe, I don't know, but it was like just a dentist. You could just see like the dentist uniform, and then she starts talking. Like she doesn't even turn around. She just talks to him or her randomly. A grabs the gas mask and puts it on her, and she starts like panicking. Like she tries to get it off and she can't, and she finally just knocks out because it's laughing gas. A gets a needle with like stuff in, like numbing medicine, and grabs her lip, about to inject it. And while she's there, Emily is at the school copying papers and whatnot because she's supposed to be helping Ezra. Then the lights start flickering and this loud rock music starts turning on, and she hears like all these noises, and so she really panics because I mean that's really scary. She's alone and she's calling for Ezra, but she's the only one there. I mean, of course A is there. It was probably Ezra, I'm guessing, there. Oh, and also when she was running down the hallway, there was a big light up sign right by the door that said "Act normal, bitch," which I thought that was really rude. So she locks herself in the classroom and she hears someone like in the hallways trying to get in the door. So she slides a desk right by the door, and then she sees her dad's car pulling by the school out the window, and she tries to open the window but she can't get it open, and she finally like breaks the window. So her dad looks up because the dad can't get in the school, it's locked. And then so he climbs his way up to the school, like to like the upstairs. He climbs. Like I thought he would fall down. I was like really scared. And then Emily's trying to get out because she can see like someone's shadow by the door trying to get in the classroom, and it was a hooded figure trying to get in, but they couldn't because of the desk in the way. And so he's climbing up there, and then they manage to open the window, and then she climbs down with him. And then while they're climbing down, you see the hooded figure, and you couldn't see the face either because the face was covered in black. He or she looks down. I think it was Ezra though. It looked like a guy. I don't know, maybe. Looking down like that. Emily's dad passes out. I was really scared for him. Like I thought maybe A like drugged him or something, but then no. She calls the ambulance and he's on the chair, like the stretcher thing, and he says that he didn't want to worry Emily because of how worried she's been, and he didn't just come home to check up on her and the mom. He came home because he's been having some heart problems. And then they hug it out and all of that. You know, I really hope Emily's dad is going to be okay, because really He's one of my favorite Pretty Little Liars parents on the show to Hannah. She wakes up in the dentist chair with blood all over her lip, and then she wakes up kind of confused, like she doesn't know where she is. And then so she goes to Arya's house where Spencer and Emily, they finally hug it out because Arya texted Spencer to come over, and she told her about Emily's dad, and so they're all cool now. They hugged it out. So yay, they're back to being friends. And so yeah, the four girls are together, and Hannah tells them that she think she's being drugged. That maybe A was drugging Hannah and then went to the school to traumatize Emily. Which could be true unless one of them was Mona and one of them was Ezra, which is my theory. That's what I think. Hannah tells them to look in her mouth because it feels like she's been chewing on something really hard, like uncomfortable. So then they grab a flashlight and she's sitting down, and then so they're looking in her mouth with tweezers and a flashlight, and Spencer finally finds something. It's like this little tiny roll of paper, and then they unroll it, and it says, "I told you, dead girls don't smile, stop looking, A." Yeah, that's pretty creepy, right? I found that really scary. Like, how did they manage to get that, like, in her teeth anyway? Like, that must be really uncomfortable. Arya is still, like, paranoid that Mike and Mona are dating, obviously, because Mona is crazy. But so is Ezra, and she doesn't know that. I mean, I found this tweet on Twitter that the Montgomery kids are both dating psychopaths. I found it really funny. But anyway, Arya finds Maggie talking with Ezra in his classroom and seem to have some tension going on, because Maggie does not want Ezra close to her kid, Malcolm. And so she leaves after Arya comes back, and Arya confronts her while she's packing up her car, how she blackmailed him and all of that, and then pushes her because she gets really mad. Maggie tells Arya that at least I'm not sleeping with my teacher to get a grade point average. So Arya's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, let me help you. And she tells Arya to just go away. So Arya just walks off. Okay, now Spencer, she's being all detective with the pictures that she took of Allison's journal. But she somehow finds out while she's reading, we see Allison at like a bar. And I thought this was for real, but it was like just like what she's imagining. So she's at a bar, and she says, Allison says something that, who drinks beer with boysenberry pie? She says, oh, maybe I'll write about this moment. And then she kisses him. Her plan is to go to that bar to just see if she can find out stuff. Then, okay, so she goes to the bar, goes in, and she sees Ezra sitting there. And he seems surprised that she's there because that's a bar, and says, oh, I'm just gonna meet someone. And then he tells the waiter that, you don't need to bring order, I'm about to leave. So that's his cover-up. She asks him, oh, what kind of pie is that? And he says, oh, boysenberry, or it could be blueberry, or something like that. And then he leaves. And Spencer sits down, and she kind of looks at it. And then the waiter comes, and she brings the rest of his order, which is a beer. Spencer picks up the beer bottle. And what does the beer bottle say? It says board shorts. The brand. Board shorts. Picture of a board shorts, and it says board shorts right there. She imagines the scenario in her head. Same scenario where Allison says, who drinks beer with boysenberry pie? And he's like, don't knock it till you try it. And he's reading her journal, like, think about her being immature or whatever. And she says, oh, are you calling me immature? And then she tells him that, oh, I might write about you. I might write about this moment right now. So she kisses him. And then I tell you, I really cringed at that scene because it's like, oh God, I mean, Ezra is like really creepy, going after like little, like not little, well, yeah, little girls. I mean, I know this was like a few years ago, but I mean, that's hella creepy. I'm like, that's scary. Spencer figures it all out together that Ezra is board shorts, and then so the ending, A is shredding all of the papers that Hannah stole from the dentist, shredding it, putting it on like this round surface, and putting it in that bird cage. Remember that bird's cage, the one that, I mean, we know that Ezra is A, but at the same time it's like, why, what's his purpose? And like, I just, so good, so good. I'm so glad I started watching this show, because let me tell you guys, when I first heard about the show 2010, I was like, okay, maybe I'll watch it, maybe it'll be a good show. And so I didn't watch the premiere, but I recorded it. And then I think like a few days later, I watched the recording of it, and I was like obsessed. Okay, I was like totally obsessed, and I was like 14 at the time. So that was like 4 years ago, but I'm gonna go now. And bye guys, peace out.